dear. No. I just recorded for like 20 minutes. And none of it got saved. Oh. How has that happened? Oh. Alright. I'm gonna have to do this a different way. Fuck. Oh, double fuck. Alright. Oi, oi. You're right, mate. I don't. I've kind of murked it as it is. Delete that. Delete that. Delete that. Delete. No, that's my drawing of Dan. Alright. I don't know what this is, but keep that. Alright. It's Jack. Yeah, you're right, Jack. How you doing? How'd your race? Was you in the A final? If you were, how'd it go? What? Why am I? Alright, I'm gonna get water. You're right, Sam. I'm gonna get water quick. Back in a sec. You're right, Kai, mate. Yeah, my throat's so fucking fucked. I can't believe I recorded this for like, how long? Like 30 minutes. And for so it just stopped recording after 50 seconds. Like, I only just clocked it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna live it, download the VOD, and upload it, and then put on the clip of my depression. I don't know when to start this. I'll just start now, so I can't be asked. Alright. What was my first question? How Brentwood improves you? Oh, I spent like 20 minutes on this question. You alright, Chris? Alright, here we are again. Alright. How does Brentwood improve you? Brentwood. Nan's a unit. We'll get to that question soon. Alright, Brentwood, how does it improve you? So, essentially, it's kind of simple. So, let's just do a comparison. We've got Brent, then we've got Buck. Buck is Buckmore. Brentwood is Brentwood. So it's... That's the straightest line I've ever seen in my life. What have I done to the brush? Fair enough. Alright. Though you improve so much more. Shut up, Chris. You will literally improve so much more at Brentwood than you will Buckmore. Not because you are sucking, I'm sucking up them, but it is once a week. Buckmore and other literally every other league is once a month. Once a week you get practice every single week, clearly. So 4 times worth of practice versus 1 times worth of practice. Add that up over a year. That's like, how many, there's like 42 weeks in a year or some shit. That's 42 times better than 12 would. So, you know what I mean? Brentwood, you'll just naturally be better. That and you face way quicker drivers. Like, there'll be quick drivers from Buckmore, that's because they're from Brentwood. So, Brentwood is way better for practice anyway. If you want to like Buckmore, going to other tracks and winning at them, that is to like basically build up your portfolio essentially. So, that's that. I can't be asked to talk about it for 15 minutes because it was just a ramble last time. Bixby, what do you want from me? Alright, next question. When did you realise you could start doing karting more than a hobby and actually win frequently? So essentially, how it goes is it's all mental. Like, so here's me, you know. That's some massive bicep. Massive bicep. I'll leave the 6-pack for now. You can all imagine that. How's the kids? They're alright, mate. I think I killed like 2 of them. Yeah, maybe I killed the 3rd one. You know. Alright, imagine it. Yeah, so that's wee little Aaron, and we're like, god damn. Oh god. I want win. Why he got weird head? Chris, I'm gonna knock you out, mate. Anyway. So the first win, no matter what, is always the hardest win. Because essentially, the way it is you can go like there's a kid that haven't won in 7 years, so pig to him. I wonder what his mental state for winning is. So the winning is like, once you've won the first time, you know you can do it. But if you haven't won, you're not sure if you can do it. You can believe in yourself, but you haven't got like the proofs in the pudding kind of thing. But when like, if I look up and I've got all these trophies, humble flex, thank you very much. You know that you can do it. You enjoying those Oreos. I feel sick after them donuts yesterday. But yeah, you know you can win after your first one. And then after that, it's just a matter of perfecting how you win. So if you go into a race, you need to make sure you do this, this and that. You need to play to the situation at hand. So basically, if you're, say you're in an A-Farm or Brentwood and your cart's slow, you need to know how to defend the entire race. And then hold off at like a different kind of attacks. So it's just shared. Oh, fuck you, Chris. My mod deleted your message. That's so funny. Yeah, so after that, it doesn't become easier because each race will be harder, but the first win is always mentally the hardest because as you're driving, you're thinking, oh shit, I could win, and that could like, you know, throw you off big time, you know what I mean? So, yeah, first win is always the hardest. After that, it's easier mentally, but physically it's harder because you have to adapt more to the situation. Or in mod, try to permaban Chris on the chat, that'd be funny. Alright, next question. Who is the best staff member? Got this from a question of Dan Lee. Don't know, Dan. Who is the best staff member? I guess Dan's got Dan. Let's talk apart the fact where he's trying to get me to gas his ego from him being the best staff member. I mean, he still gas his ego regardless, but Dan is hands down. I think every driver can say this. Is hands down at heart the nicest bloke. Like he has done a lot for a lot of the drivers. So he's given so many people opportunities, and like it's cool. He doesn't have to do it. That's the thing. I don't know why he does it. I don't know. Maybe he's like, he's got like a deal with God that if he like gets 20 Brentwood drivers to be happy or some shit, he gets to go to heaven or some shit. I don't know. But is Dan your sponsor? Yeah, that's Dan. Yeah, he's like Raid Shadow Legends and all that, innit? But yeah. Actually, wait, hold on. Let me check my phone quick. Give me a sec. 10 to. Bear with. Alright. Adderall equals opportunities. Exactly. Yeah, no, he gives me performance enhancement chats, which also involve cocaine. Anyway. Yeah, Dan, nice bloke. Yeah, sure, best staff member. Moving on. Alright. Who is the best marshal? Well, I hope no other marshals are watching this, like, in either... Shut up, Chris! Country Western sick. Okay. I don't know why I say country western, to be fair. Best marshal, if no other marshal was watching, Ben. If any other marshal watching, the marshal that is specifically watching, you're the best marshal, mate. Alright, anyway, next question. Brentwood's algorithms. This is where I got to last time, and I was so gassed to talk about it, but I clocked it wasn't talking, but now I get to talk about it again. Alright, so, okay. This is a question that gets thrown out a lot by a lot of the parents and sometimes the kids and shit are racer. How come the top drivers always get the best cars? Do they slide Dan and that a tenner onto the table? Do they like rig it and only give the best cars to the best drivers? Well, that would be dumb, because then you'd only have the same best drivers. And if that's the case, then how comes me and like some other people who came up for the ramps are now whiz sick? Like, you know what I mean? That's just a bit weird, isn't it? Alright, so basically, I can explain the formula, but so essentially how it goes. So when you first arrive, you have your list of names. Gassing myself, yeah, I know I'm sick. Yeah, you got your list of names. So it's like in Group A there is Aaron, Jemiah, Stephanie, Backflip, Cumstain. That was rude. Yeah. So you've got all these different names, and then in Group B, you've also got a bunch of different names. Generally, the top names, so like top drivers, are just clumped together. Now, this could be them putting them all together on purpose. I probably doubt it, because why would they do that? That's just kind of weird. Yeah, so these are like the top driver names all together in a list. And after this is like not all the good drivers that, you know, trying to get improved, that are now complaining that the best drivers get the best carts. But yeah, but because these names are generally close together, and when the day first starts, no one knows what that best carts are. So the carts like probably like similar, like they're pretty similarly close together. So when whoever's in the pit lane and they're writing down who goes in what cart, they're just writing down name to cart. They aren't thinking, oh yeah, I'll give Aaron over there. I'll give him 9 because he's really sick, and I want him to win more. No, it's just a bit wrong that. Yeah, so it's probably like the names get clumped together, whatever. But after that, so say the best drivers win, and because we have this little thing called reverse grid, so first to 8th gets like flipped over or whatever. So like first will start 8th in the second heat, 7th will start second. So from the previous race, no, so yeah, so the best drivers get sent to the like 8th, 7th and 6th, but from heat 2, the winners of that, and they would have their good carts, or they would have whatever carts they had, they're going to be like, the second heat won't get as good range of carts as the first heat. So for, I think I was explaining this. So when the second heat comes back in, all the carts are stacked up, but now the good carts are at the back of the row, and where are the drivers starting? In the back of rows. So the back drivers are getting put at the back with the back of the cart, with the carts to the back. Therefore, they get a second good cart, and Bob's your uncle. They've got a second good cart because you need they. So it's kind of like it's like a reward system that's not actually properly implemented for like them doing it on purpose. It just happens. So the good carts will start off at the front, and they'll go out and be driven. Then some worse drivers will come in, and because so there's 2 lanes. Like, so people at Brentwood would probably know this, but there's like 2 lanes. So there's one row of carts here, and then there's a second row of carts here, and then there's sometimes a third one here. So when you pull it, so say the first heat, they'll park their carts here, and then the worst drivers in that heat will park their carts here. In the second heat, the drivers from the second heat, from the second group, will then take their carts here. Right, so they'll take their carts from the second lane because they don't want to give the good carts, good drivers to good carts, because that will be blatantly obvious. So the bad drivers, they'll get they're not bad, but they're worse. The worst drivers will start with the good carts, but because they're worse than the good drivers, they'll naturally end up like, I don't know, like here or some shit for the second heat. But then for the second heat of the first group, they'll do what they did the other time, but they'll flip it over. So now that, oh my god, this is so confusing to like understand, but I'm trying my best to explain it. So then the second heat for the first lot of drivers, they'll then start in this lane because they don't want to use the carts that won from the second heat, from the first group that won. So if you can understand that, good, you've understood the algorithm, go win a race. Alright, what's the second algorithm I had in mind? Oh yeah, how the day plans out in terms of cart. So this is kind of like a low-key formula, I think, because I kind of notice it quite a bit now that I'm thinking about it. So if your day goes like this, so you'll have heats and practice 1, you'll get a cart, and then okay, I'll explain it a bit more in a second. In heat 2, you'll get another cart, and in the final, most people will generally get one final. So you have 3 races. Therefore, I think it goes. You get 1 good cart. You get 2 good carts and 1 bad cart. But it depends what order you get that in. So sometimes I've had my first heat cart be really good, and my second heat, that cart will be really bad. But the final, my cart will be actually kind of decent again. Whether that's actually real, maybe, I don't know. But that seems to be how it plays out for quite a lot of people too. So, now that's that question out of the way, and I really like explaining that. Thank you very much for my TED Talk. Okay, next question. Worst experience with the track. I was by a certain lad in this chat that asked this question. Who asked that question? Dime HD. I wonder who. Can you tell me who it is? I don't know. Alright. I just took a photo of myself by accident. Whoops. Alright. Worst experience of the track. Gotta think about this one. No, it's with the track or like. Okay, I'll explain. This is kind of a nifty story, I guess. So way back, like I don't know, like maybe 2 years ago now. I'm not sure. I've been there 3 years. Oh my god. There was a point where like I was improving. So I was like, oh no, say this is like a thing, a chart, and then there's like rate of improvement. I was like, and then I used to kind of sort of improve over time. This is where I am now, absolute god tier. I'm like, not even on the board. Yeah, say I'm like, I don't know, like here, and then everyone else at this point is like here. So I'm kind of closing the gap to the good drivers. So I'm starting to race there a bit more. I'm racing all the time, but I'm like racing with the good drivers a bit more. The good drivers will never ever like a new driver starting to battle with them, because they just don't know how they're gonna act. So they don't really know like if they're dirty, clean, or what kind of moves they'll make. So naturally people don't like them, but some people are way more vocal than that. Because at one point, I was beefing with like 5 different people. Beefing, for those who aren't chav, it's like arguing. I was like arguing with like 5 different people. Like 5 different people didn't like me. So I had like person one. I was in a heat with him, and literally it was like, because when you drive about, you're just naturally tapping people like in the back of them. Like this is a cart, and this is another cart. That's some shit drawing. Oh my god. It's on a straight and shit. You're constantly tapping them. But I wasn't actually doing anything bad besides out of that. Yeah, I wasn't doing anything like too like bad out of that. But because it was annoying them, because I wasn't like one of their natural foes, they didn't like that. So after I raced, I was like, stop driving like a dickhead. Fuck you, you're a retard or some shit. So that was driver one, and then driver two. This was in a wet race, I think. I don't want to say names because I'm kind of like alright with alright with these people, but some of them I'm not. I think it was a wet race. This one had a really long beef. It was just natural. We just kept colliding. It was really nice. Wow, you're so good at drawing. Thank God you did GCSE art. Yeah, so it's like a wet race or some shit, and I was kind of alright in a wet. So we're coming through like the corners and that. Like, I'm trying to draw Brentwood home. Wow, that's a sick drawing. Yeah, so this is like a swimming pool, and in the rain it actually comes to swimming pool, which is kind of funny. Yeah, so me and this other driver were coming into the corner, and I just kind of missed my breaking point, so I kind of tapped him a bit. He kind of got annoyed, and then going around the lap, I'm just basically tapping him all the time. But this is a bit more like aggressive and accidental because it's a wet and I can't really control my car all that much. And then he gets out, we get out after the race, and he just gets mad and like shit, says some shit to my face. I'm like, well, okay. I don't know. What are you gonna say? Okay, she'll go faster then. I don't know. Yeah. Then driver 3. I mean, I'm not really, he just never really liked me. I don't know why. He just didn't. But I don't know. I don't really blame him for that, I guess. Yeah. I actually kind of admired him. 'Cause he was like when he was driving, he was like one of the heavy drivers. Heavier because it's literally everyone was like 5'2" at this point. Yeah, so him racing like above the weight limit and still winning was actually kind of impressive to me. So he was really quick, and I was trying to keep up with him or something. And it was like the last lap, and then he had already been like, he got knocked right down to like a couple attempts in front of me. So as we go into the swimming pool, yeah, the swimming pool's just a dumb corner. It's such a tight hairpin. Yeah, so he was sort of like here. And I was like back here, maybe. But I just kind of went for like this overtake, I'm like, lol. And then he like went to the side. At the time I kind of thought it was fair. But I kind of wish I had like an external thing. Like, I don't know. So it was like, I felt like, I probably wasn't this far back. I was more like here. But I went for a move, and so we could both arrive at the apex at the same time. Random trash kid. I feel like I recognise that name, but I have no clue who it is. Yeah, so we both arrived at the apex at the same time, and I just sort of, tapped his side, and because because the inside line was dry, and the outside line was like really wet, so when he's gone on the outside line, he's kind of just went into a barrier, and I'm like, oh shame. Yeah, so that kind of happened to him. It's your favourite person. Oh. Samuel, how you doing, mate? What you doing? God, I didn't know Samuel had 2 accounts. Yeah, so we both arrived at the apex at the same time, and he went into the wall. And then that was kind of peak. And so we have to. The thing is, I was just with like a bunch of people, and then we all sort of like walked off, and then he sort of came over to me when Samuel says, okay. Yeah, and then he came over to me and he was like starting to go at me. And it was arguing, I'm like, bro, it kind of was my fault, but kind of wasn't. You're wrong. And then he got really mad at me. And then he got pulled away. And he was like, yeah, everyone will chats the same shit about you. And I'm kind of like, yeah, but everyone chats the same shit about everyone, so I don't know what you're on about, mate. Yeah, that was kind of funny. And then... oh, then it gets really interesting in this one. trying to rub all this out. Okay, and then person 4. So I don't know what it was, but this was before I was more right with him now. We just kept colliding during the ride. He was like, he was kind of sort of shoving me about on track, like kind of being a bully to me on track way back in the day. And I was like, wait, why is this man bullying me? So yeah, so we're coming into this. Wow, swimming pool returns yet again. So this is swimming pool, and I'm like here, and there's like he's battling someone else up here, and then they go wide. Actually, I'm gonna use a different color because that seems a bit more useful. Okay, so this is him, and so he goes in. They both battling into the corner, and then the guy he's battling like just I don't know overtakes and gets past, and so he's here, and now like I've gained right up to him, so I'm like here, and then this was man's racing line. What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, what am I a rectangle now? Oh, are we doing like 90-degree shapes there? So I was like, okay. So it just kind of shoved me onto the grass, because the track like ends like here. There's like a bunch of grass here, and then there's like a curb, and there's like a cone, I think. So I was like, okay. Went over the. I just went a straight line on the grass, and then as he's like coming around here, like this, I just, yeah. Ruined. We both go into like a spin. He gets sent off the track. He puts his hand up in the air, whatever. I put my middle finger up and we'll drive away. I mean, but it was kind of like a message like, bro, you got to stop driving like a shitbag and like pushing me off. So yeah, that kind of happened. Yeah, but we're boys now. I mean, not boys, but we're alright now. Yeah, that was person 4. Okay, so person 5, he doesn't race here anymore. I mean, there's like a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but I don't really give a shit about 6 and 7 enough, because they're just both little shits and try 30 all the time. Yeah, so person 5. No, we're returning. I wonder what corner you can guess it is. Fucking swimming pool, kid. It's like the same thing as last time. But this time I was kind of watching him throughout the race. Oh my god, question was the worst experience. Would you say you've had an arch nemesis? Bro, I have an arch nemesis every season. That it's a different person. Yeah. So same thing. He's like shoving people off the track all over the place. This is like a champion, by the way, like an ex-champion. And he's also shoving people off the track. I'm like, what the fuck? So now as I've caught up to him, he just starts like doing the same, and it comes like here, and I'm like here, and he just yet again with these like, because we're now driving rectangles, man just goes like that again. So I'm like, okay, I'm on the grass. I mean, it was kind of like a bit more obvious that I was coming this time, but yeah, he's coming around, bang, and then just drive off again. Oh dear. I'm kind of glad I'm like slowly stopping racing now. Cause these shits just piss me off so much. I'll tell you a few more stories. I remember one time, yeah, I was coming in, I'm actually going to spend all day talking about it, so I'll make this quick. So this is the corner off the Brentwood. Okay, so I'm defending my racing line, so I'm like already here. So essentially, that's a bit kind of scuffed, but essentially, the guy here shouldn't be able to go for the overtake, but we all know this certain fella. So he actually like he tries going onto the grass to like try and do like a heroic overtake on me. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm trying to like defend my position, but I'm trying to like now allow the extra space he is making for himself. So he just does like, I mean, guess what, the same thing I've done to the last 2 people, and just sort of like, shoves me off and carries on going. But this one, it was like I actually hadn't done anything wrong to warrant that. Oh, I swear to God, if I crashed. No, you're fine. Cheers, mate. For a second, yes, that scared me, bro. I cannot be asked to start this from the beginning. Alright. So, yeah, that happened. Alright, next question. My best race. Aaron, can you text me please? Are you working today? Because if you are, then I will. Meet me in the freezer, bro. Alright, what should this one be? I think my best race. I've had like a few heats where I've gone from like 12th to 2nd. And in one of them I got like the fastest lap of the season of 34.7, which was kind of cool. But not yeah. But it was like, okay, I think my first A final win. Maybe. Or no, actually no. I think my second A final win. So yeah, I mean we're all starting in our like, I can't remember, I think it was rolling start. Yeah, so these are all his different carts, and then here's Wheeler Aaron. But I just sort of controlled the race from the start, and then I managed to keep a gap to second, so I don't have to defend. And I just win. I just won. I pulled away from everyone. I just did consistent laps and quick laps, and just managed to win. I think that was better than winning the first race. Because I mean, the first race I had to defend the whole race, so it's a bit more chaotic. But being able to win because you outright won from like pulling away, each lap being fastest as possible, and putting. I mean, the geezer in second in the last 4 laps like had a really quick car, so it was catching up, but it wasn't enough. But yeah, winning and being like just having that gap, bro. I feel like Lewis Hamilton. That was such a sick win. My end goal. Okay, my end goal is it depends, because it depends how successful the road. Realistically, my end goal is to win a championship somewhere, and then after winning 1 championship, to win 2, to win 3, etc. It would have been amazing to have won a championship at Brentwood, but it's just kind of not possible in a way. Like, I don't know why, but it's just, unless you can somehow like really make the best of a bad cart. I'm not good at making the best of a bad cart sometimes. So that sort of puts me in like a worse position sometimes. That, and I get too pissed off to win at Brentwood. So would have been nice to win a championship at Brentwood, but there's too many variables that stop it happening. So yeah. But if I could do any sort of racing goal, so probably to like win 24 hours of Le Mans, 12 hours of Sebring, 24-hour Daytona. Yeah, kind of shit like that. Formula 1's cool, but endurance racing's sick. My penis size. Alright, cheers. Who is your favourite driver at Brentwood? I don't know. Other than myself, obviously. I think my favourite driver is, I don't know, not favourite, but I got massive respect for Ollie. Like, he can just win. He can do like such consistent lap. He's the perfect driver, so to speak. Like, he's so good. Like, even in the bad cart, he still wins, and it's impressive. And it shows he's won championships, and now he tested for Gennaro, and also makes sense. What is your issue with Brentwood? Why are you stopping? Well, I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping, but I am stopping. Like, I'm not gonna do like commit to a full season. So if I have an opportunity to race somewhere else, I will. Yeah, it's just kind of fed up. You either get a bad cart, like I say, which I'm not the best at making the most of, or like, actually I'll show you the footage from my the final Sunday. Oh, there's Max chatting shit, bless his heart. This was such a... I was winning, so I kind of had it in the bag, but like, 9's a quick kart, but sometimes there are just karts that are like 5/10 faster than other karts. Kind of fucking Oh yeah. Yeah, he kept bumping into the back of me, but it was like really aggressive bumps, and he sort of shoved me out of the way. And he just kept getting ABCs. It was like, how many ABCs does this kid have to get before like he just gets a black flag or something? Like it was so annoying. Like there, he just went for it. He was close to me, but wasn't close enough to do that overtake. So that's why I just kind of sort of went, okay, and continued going. And it was so frustrating. Like here, like wow, there we go. I mean, that kind of helped me a bit, kind of boosted me on. My car had nowhere near the straight on speed that he had. Yeah, it just shoved me. I'm getting pissed already, but yeah, just kept shoving me. It's not harsh enough penalties for contact. That kid's on -4 points, by the way. How can you be on -4 points in the season? Oh, it's so annoying. And then there'll be other kids like oh, I'll try and show examples if I'm really bothered about it, but it's like I do not understand how some of the driving you can get away with. Like Samuel, you know, I missed a certain fella Sunday. You was just racing, and I predicted it. He just comes and shoves you out of the way, and his mum cheers him on. Bro, how are you cheering on such dirty overtaking? Like it's just. And then he gets an ABC, and he got an ABC for such a blatant push out of the way. Like such a blatant fucking crash, and then he's like moaning about it. I'm like, why are you moaning? You should know you're doing wrong here. It's so dark. And then like, I've tried telling him before, like, because there's been a few times in the wet where he just does like, he goes for like this mad overtake. Because it's a wet, you can't like throw yourself into the corner. So he threw himself from like really far away, and like just shoved me out of the way and just continued going. I'm like, fair enough. But yeah, I don't know if I can't remember if I spoke about the bias thing. People say the marshals biased. I don't think they're biased. I think, like, I don't know. I can't remember if I explained this or not. But the marshals just don't give enough of it. They do give a shit. They don't care enough to be like, yeah, I'm gonna like prioritize this kid to win. Like, it's just kind of along that. But yeah, that's that. I'm not even. I wouldn't delve so deep. I think about it when I was like looking at that question, and I was like, I want to rant for so long, but it's just kind of not worth it. I don't know. Has anyone got any other questions to boss me? I'm kind of running out of questions here. I'm back. What did I miss? Not much. What are the questions? Holy shit, my room's hot. Oh my god. 6 viewers, yay! Go on then, have a rant, shut up. Oh, explain the difference in carts. Oh, different carts from track to track. Oh man, this is really where I should have studied engineering. Wait, hold on, let me. I know what I'm talking about. Let me just get the stats out. Yeah, so basically, I'll just give like. So the series I'm gonna focus on now is Club 100. Club 100 cards. Let me just draw one. This is like a fully accurate representation of what it's like. Oh wow. So glad I did GCSE art, genuinely. Right, so this is a Club 100 card, I know. Splitting image. But yeah, so these are a bit different. So they've got open wheels, so there's a bit more like risk to them when you're driving alongside someone. Because you like, so I had a practice once and I just ended up in the wall. Actually, I'll show you a video of me ending up in the wall. This isn't me driving. Hang on a minute. Yeah, that's me there. That's me in the wall. Yo. Yeah, that's kind of sad. Yeah, so what happened is some kid spun in front of me and then rolled into me, and then my front right, just the the axle or something just snapped. So I had no front right tire. What are you gonna do in the future of karting? Club 100, Buckmore. Buckmore series are gonna be probably what I'm gonna do. Club 100, and then maybe try and do some endurance racing. See what other. I kind of want to do D-Max karts, but they're in Milton Keynes, so that's quite the trek. And I don't think they do racing series at the moment. Oh yeah, the question I had, Club 100 kart. They got open wheels. They're a two-stroke engine. And the Brentwood ones, they're a bit more like a box kind of thing. Three wheels here. Wow, this is such a good drawing. Yeah, so they're just like the generic rental car kind of thing. The Club 100 is kind of like a step up. Yeah. What else? I do not know. This might be the end. I'm gonna go to the toilet. Boss questions in the chat if you really want. Um, Alrighty. I think that's it, dude. Anything else? What's your favourite karting position? Never mind, I regretted that as soon as I died. Wow. So wind's kind of cool, I guess. So. Yeah, so that's kind of nifty feeling. But winning from like when I start filming Buckmore videos again, what they do is they do their grids are random, so you don't get to qualify where you start. It'll just be like for first race, Aaron, you start 12th. For the second race, you start second. For the third race, you start like 4th. That's kind of cool. I like that. No, so when you go like 12th to first, that's kind of sick. But yeah, generally, starting first is the best. Huh. But yeah, I might make a video on this week's or last week's heat races. I'm not sure. I kind of can't bother to. The first race, I don't know. I was kind of doing my own little commentary and saw my helmet. Not gonna lie. But yeah, thank you all. Yo, Kai, Chris, and Adam, see you at work in about 3 hours. In a bit, boyos. Oh, that was so cool.